Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to this meeting of the Wheaton Park District on February 15th, 2017. Could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Vyers?
Here.
Commissioner Morrill? Here. Commissioner Mee?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
President Hodgkinson?
Here. I think our first item is our presentation on the DuPage Community Foundation, and then we'll be having our public comment. Is that correct?
That would be the DuPage County Historical
Excuse me,
Museum.
the DuPage County Historical
We do love
Museum.
our friends at the DuPage Foundation, but they're not here tonight.
I was sending emails to them today, sorry.
TJ?
TJ, thank you.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I'm just popping in tonight on behalf of Michelle Podkova, actually. She's actually at the museum tonight helping to facilitate a program on the lives of Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King Jr. So I just have a couple updates, general museum operations, and then some things on the foundation. In 2017, there's a total of 11 major exhibits planned and over 35 programs already on the schedule. The exhibits include what's currently running, which is From Flame to Fluorescent, Snap, An Evolution of Photography, Fun Unplugged, Little Adults, and the temporary traveling exhibit, Changing America. That runs through March 10th, and it's pretty incredible. I'd recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet. And then upcoming throughout the rest of the year, Adam's Dream, which is a history of the museum building, and Hooked, which is a historic collection of fishing lures, both open in April. Fun Unplugged Outdoor Adventures opens in mid-July, followed by Hooked on History, Kids Art Show, which is a fishing-themed art show, which will run in August and September. And then rounding out the year will be 1917, Catalyst of the Modern Era, which opens in late September, and Death in DuPage, which is opening in mid-October. Both of those run through July of 2018. New this year is the museum's decided to create what they're calling the Dutton Hall Gallery. It's within the auditorium. They're going to exhibit some of the best art in the permanent collection on an annual basis. So the first collection of art will be up on display starting in early April. One other update, the museum's entryway. It's in the midst of some small updates. In the next several weeks, there'll be some minor restoration beginning on the walls in the foyer area to allow for more permanent placement of recognition plaques. And then the lobby also now has a wall-mounted flat-screen TV that displays looping info on the museum, upcoming exhibits and programs, and donor recognition. And then in terms of foundation activities, plans for 2017 look to build on the good success of last year when the museum's two major fundraisers and year-end appeal all showed strong increases in net revenue over the previous year. And so the first big event is coming up here in just a few weeks. It's the annual Casino Night. Casino Royale is the theme this year. It's going to be a James Bond-inspired evening. It's Saturday, March 11th from 7 to 10 p.m. So in addition to a night of secret agent intrigue and full-scale casino gaming, guests will enjoy $50 in charity chips, food, martini bar. We'll have a great raffle, terrific silent auction. We've got some very cool items. And the chance to win a huge instant wine cellar package. So tickets are now available. You can get them at dupagemuseum.org, or you can just stop in at the front desk at the museum. So I've also left some packets here. Margie's got them if you have questions on how to get your tickets, or if you know anyone that might like to sponsor the event. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, TJ.
Thank you, TJ. Any questions for TJ or about the museum? Okay. Community input? TJ? Oh, no questions, sorry.
Good. We can ask you some.
Okay.
I believe Mr. William Farley is here to speak with us this evening.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jane. Just want to start, if the board will indulge me, I'll probably blur the lines a little bit because I'm here in an official capacity, but I'm also a community member in the Park District, and I just want to thank the board for all of the hard work. I know the countless hours that all of you put into this, sitting on this board, and if we could double your pay, we would. But do appreciate that work, and also I want to just, again, blurring the lines a little bit, thank you for all the hard work from your staff. As a school district, we're not experts in everything, in turf, trees, other things, playgrounds. So from time to time, we'll pick up the phone and call and talk to either Mike or Rob or Mary Beth or all these wonderful people behind me, and the first thing they can say is, how can we help? And I think it's a testament to the intergovernmental cooperation that we work so well together, and it's really been enjoyable in my 22 years in the district working with the Park District. And finally, just the breadth of programs and offerings that you have for our students and our children in the community. I think the success you see, whether it's on our football fields, baseball, soccer, WDSRA, Special Olympics, and the quality of sportsmanship from our students is all a reflection of what starts here at the Park District level. So we are greatly appreciative of that as well. So thanks again to the board and again to this wonderful staff that it's been a pleasure to work with all these years. I don't get to the zoo as much as I used to, so I don't get to see Dan, so it's nice to see Dan tonight. But getting back again to my official capacity, I'm sure most of you in the mail received some information, and we brought some extras for you tonight just regarding our capital facilities plan, which has been ongoing. I think some of you were able to attend the meeting back in the fall. We talked a little bit about it then with the other intergovernmental bodies, but just wanted to bring copies of this for you tonight so you have it if you didn't get it in the mail already, so you can have it. Also share information regarding the coffees that the district has coming up. We've had a number of community meetings in regards to the upcoming referendum, but we also have some coffees that are going to happen at the schools as well. And we've been out talking to all of our civic groups and retirement communities, and we're trying to get the word out just about the, informationally what's going on with this upcoming vote. So again, thank you to the Park District for all you do and for the staff, and I'll leave the information and you can pass it along to the board and other members as you see fit. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
We certainly want to thank the school district for all the cooperation we receive from them as well. So,
Absolutely.
Couldn't do it without you, man.
Yeah. Any other community input tonight, Donna? Anyone else signed up for it? Okay. Let's move on to our agenda, and I'd like a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll do it if Donna can keep up with it. Move to approve consent agenda items A through G. Approval of disbursements totaling $1,118,574.46 for the period beginning January 11, 2017, ending February 7, 2017. Approval of the regular board meeting minutes of the Board of Park Commissioners from January 18, 2017. Approval of the Building and Grounds Subcommittee meeting minutes from January 11, 2017. Approval of the Finance Subcommittee meeting minutes from January 11, 2017. Approval of the Building and Grounds Subcommittee meeting minutes from February 1, 2017. Approval of the Finance Subcommittee meeting minutes from February 1, 2017. And finally, approval of the closed session meeting minutes from January 18, 2017.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by me and a second by Morrill. Questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right. We have no unfinished business. Moving on to new business. The first motion we're going to be discussing is the resolution authorizing appointments to the board of the DuPage County Historical Museum Foundation by the Wheaton Park District Commissioners. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the resolution 2017-03 authorizing appointments to the board of the DuPage County Historical Museum Foundation, Inc. by the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Vyers and a second by Morrill to approve this resolution authorizing these appointments. Questions and comments? John?
Yeah. After I saw this on the agenda this morning, actually, I read my board packet on the plane today. I called Mike and said, for me to vote, I would like to see a little background on who these guys are, what their fundraising, capacity is. That's kind of what we talked about the last time, is we're looking for fundraising guys on our boards. I didn't personally know the three guys, so, I was wondering either if the board wanted to wait till Mike got some information or let Mike give it to us tonight, and Mike he's willing to go either way. So why don't you tell us at least about the guys, Mike, and then we can decide,
Sure.
if any board members have suggestions for these slots too, or, you know.
And after I provide a brief bio for each of them and talk about their contributions to date, if board members would like to meet these individuals, either subsequent to their formal appointment or in advance of it, that's certainly fine. We had talked about that several years ago, about board members being more involved in the vetting process. And the last time around, we didn't have a whole lot of interest, nor have we had a lot of board members seeking to be appointed. Our recruitment efforts went flat for a little while. Didn't mean our work wasn't done. It just meant that we didn't have new members and some were dropping off. At any rate, I'll start with Troy Rodman. Troy is a Coldwell Banker residential brokerage realtor. Say that fast 5 times. Brokerage realtor, thank you. And has been a resident of both Chicago and Wheaton for over 30 years. He specializes in Chicago and its outlying suburbs, so he knows quite a bit about DuPage County in general. Troy attributes his success to his no-nonsense approach with buyers and sellers. Prior to entering real estate, Troy worked in a leadership position driving global consumer product design and development strategy in major home appliances and commercial building materials within the corporate world. Troy and his wife raised their family in District 200 schools, as well as the College of DuPage in Glen Ellen. Troy has been a committee member of the DuPage County Historical Museum Foundation for a little over 2 years now, and is very willing and able to make the jump to a formal board member if the board agrees. He has been involved as a very active volunteer and fundraiser for both the On Par for DuPage golf outing, as well as casino night, and just has a ton of energy and really brings a lot to the table as far as knowledge countywide. He also does bring us experience from where he grew up, which the name of the town in south or central eastern Illinois is escaping me, but he is a life member of their historical museum program out there, so he brings a lot of knowledge to the table, and I know staff enjoys working with him. Secondarily, Marty Keller. Marty's a trustee for Milton Township. Some of you may know him. He's been married to Catherine for over 40 years and currently resides in Wheaton. 30-year Milton Township resident and has over 40 years of private sector business experience. Mr. Keller graduated with a BA in political science from Northern Illinois University and went on to continue his education, graduating with his MS in management and organizational behavior from Benedictine University. He recently retired as the general manager of BAM Fan Accessories. Finally, David Thiel. David has been a resident of Wheaton for 20 years. He's the owner of iTech One Marketing Group for 15 years and is also involved as an independent consultant and contractor with Transnational Bank Card. He's been also, Marty, all 3 of these gentlemen have been serving as committee members and been involved in every board meeting we've had for well over the last 2 years, so they're hitting the ground running. So David also has been doing so. He's married to Alexandra and has one daughter, Anastasia, and his daughter Anastasia thought that he should add to his bio that they are St. Michael's parishioners, and he coached youth, boys, soccer, girls, hockey, soccer, baseball, all from ages 5 to 19, and he's a sports fanatic. So, and Anastasia weighed in that regard. David, pending his approval, has agreed to serve as our president, actually, of the foundation board. Once Scott Shorney steps down from his position, which he will do in May, as he has served us for 5 years and will be leaving that board to focus his efforts on other not-for-profit work, including Cosley Foundation. So there you have it. These folks have already put a great deal of time and effort in, and all have contributed significantly to the foundation's bottom line through their networks and their own giving and our fundraising events. So I would hope we could make an announcement or a formal appointment either today or next month.
Ray, you have a question?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Scott for his service for the last 5 years, and I know that he is staying on with the Cosley Foundation, so we're not losing him. There seems to be an overload of Wheaton residents on the DuPage Museum, and is that a concern for DuPage County Board?
I think we should strive to have representation from every of the 9 townships within DuPage County. that with the number of members that we, by our bylaws, can have, that's, I think, a more laudable goal than trying to get as many people from the 38 communities within DuPage County. We do have a county board member from Addison Township who serves, Don Pachalski, and we also have a West Chicago resident, State Representative Mike Fortner, who serves. We had a Bensonville village trustee for several months serving in a committee capacity, but she decided to discontinue her work with us and focus on historic Fisher Farm in Bensonville. But the short answer is yes, we would love to have at least some solid representation from every of the 9 townships in DuPage County. And for all of our friends at home and those watching on the web, we would welcome your interest in serving on our board to raise funds and advise the museum staff on the preservation of not only the Adams Memorial Library, but also the archives and artifacts and digital imagery that is our charge to connect DuPage County residents with their cultural past. So thanks, Ray.
Yeah, John?
And Mike, isn't it true, the county has, if they want some other people, they still have some open positions on their side that we're full on our side now, but I think they have some open slots on their side that they haven't filled in the last few years.
Yeah, and the museum staff and board has been very gracious. If I come with a recommendation to fill one of their slots, they're always willing to allow us to do that and call it their appointment. Their last 2 appointments were Amy Grant, who is also a county board member from Wheaton, and Bob Jacobson, who lives in unincorporated DuPage, who's served on the board since actually before the Park District took over the operation in 2008.
Okay. Any other questions about the qualifications?
Good.
We have a motion by Vyers, by John, and a second by Ray to approve this group. I would favor that.
Me too.
And
yeah, I just thought it's important to get out there that the people who have been working with the museum for 2-3 years now, and it's kind of making their appointment more formal than just volunteer.
right. And I think it also informs the public that, you know, there are these positions that we're looking for to represent other areas of the county as well, if people have suggestions. With that, do we need a roll call, or is this a...
It's just a voice vote is fine.
All right. Let's just do all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passed. Our resolution's passed. Okay, thank you, Mike. In the future, could we go ahead and do this through committees too, through the committee
Yes.
level?
Yes.
Would you all be pleased if we did it through the committee level for the first introduction of the candidates?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fine.
Okay.
Doesn't matter which committee. I mean, it's technically related to a building restoration and preservation, so we could put it.
Either way.
You and John can arm wrestle.
Put it
over
in
which
the
one.
later one because more people can attend the later.
I was going to say the finance.
Kelly's meeting's running over schedule.
Right.
Looks like
Kelly's
it's
meetings
looks
run
like it's
long,
finance,
so-
John.
Okay. All right.
More on John's agenda.
All right, next, let's move along to Resolution 2017-04. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Move to approve resolution enacting a policy statement to reflect the Wheaton Park District's compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act and the appointment of a compliance officer, that being Mike Bernard, and that would be resolution number 2017-04.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by me and a second by Kelly. Any questions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. All right, next we have a recommendation to purchase a 2017 Ford Transit. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll move to purchase a 2017 Ford Transit 150 cargo van for $20,412 from Landmark Ford, Inc. through the Illinois Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Morrill and a second by me to purchase this vehicle. Questions? Terry?
And Mike, it says that 2 fleet vehicles are scheduled for replacement, but I see one listed. It's an 07 Chevy van. That's what's being replaced? Is that correct?
Rob, is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. Originally, we had 2 vehicles we were seeking. I had some concerns with one, so it got pulled. So there's a couple
Okay.
of typos in there reflecting.
Okay, so it's
two
just
vehicles.
basically just so bottom line is we're approving a replacement of an '07 Chevy van.
Correct.
Replacing a 10-year-old vehicle.
Looks like in March you'll see the replacement of the second vehicle referenced in the memo.
Okay.
We yanked it because we were awaiting some documentation from the dealer,
Thanks.
and we decided to wait till next month until we had complete information on vehicle number 2.
All right, and this meets our bid requirements because of the Illinois Cooperative Purchasing Program. So let's have a roll call vote on this.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. Next, we have the recommendation to approve a change order number 1 with Can Do Construction. John, would you like to make
Yeah.
that motion?
I move that we approve change order number 1 with Can Do Construction for the Castleton Quarantine Facility. But I'd like it to say in an amount not to exceed $5,573. And the reason I'm asking for that is because change order number 3 or 4 is not yet negotiated. There's some problems with the pricing. And whatever's agreed to on that pricing may affect the unit cost in this change. So I'd like the opportunity for the buildings and grounds and staff to make the pricing consistent across the change orders. And
So
if
we may
just
end up
say
with a lower price, is what
we
you're
may
saying.
end up with a little bit lower price after we get the documentation we want for the bigger. There's a $15,000 change order out there that we haven't agreed to yet.
Okay. Do we have a second to John's motion?
I just did.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Terry.
Terry? Okay, we have a motion by Kelly and a second by me. Any other comments? Okay. Let's do a roll call anyway.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right, the next item is the recommendation to approve an amendment to the personnel policy of a sick leave of the Park District. I believe that this brings us in compliance with some new regulations that the state has put through.
That's correct.
Is there a motion to that effect?
Yeah, I'll move to approve an amendment to the personnel policy 5.3.5 sick leave to comply with state law.
We have a motion by Vyers, a second by
I'll second.
Kelly. This just expands the list of who is covered by the sick leave policies and for employees. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Next, let's discuss the acceptance. Yeah,
I need to step out for this one.
Okay.
I do business with some of the companies
All right.
involved in the, that bid projects, so
so Mr. Kelly's leaving the meeting.
I'm not going to participate in the discussion.
All right, next we'll be discussing the acceptance to accept this base bid and alternate 3 from DeSitter Flooring in the amount of $127,367.37 for carpeting at Arrowhead Golf Club. Is there a motion to that effect?
So move.
Second.
Wait, it's $157,000.
No, that number is correct. The typo was not relevant to the purchase. It was relevant to what source of funding we were taking the amount of.
Okay.
So that is correct.
Okay.
The motion was read correctly.
All right. So Terry moved. Do we have a second? John, thank you. Discussion? Yeah,
it's just
Terry?
one of those issues that we discussed, at the recent building your grounds or finance, whichever one. It was probably building your grounds, right, Mike? So, I mean, it seemed like, not a big deal. We need that carpeting. It's time. And the carpeting now, Mike, is 10 years old. Okay, cool, thanks.
10 and a half.
Okay. Other questions or comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner President Hodgkinson?
Hodgkinson. Yes. Motion carries. All right, John, you are welcome to come back now. Next, we have a recommendation to approve a proposal from Art by Joseph for the Art Along the Way at the Sensory Playground for the expense not to exceed $50,000, I believe.
I move to approve the proposal from Art by Joseph for Art Along the Way project at the Sensory Garden and Playground Initiative for an amount not to exceed $50,000.
Is there a second? there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks.
But I just have.
Okay, yes, go ahead and
So I
answer your
guess
question.
the only question I had is, this is being paid for
It's being paid for by the Sensory Garden
Foundation.
foundation, which
And
is
we are
strictly through fundraising.
Right,
Correct.
and we are funding the money, we are funding it, and then they will reimburse us.
And this foundation thinks it's important to spend $50,000 on art before the entire completion of the playground?
Yes, the program is phased, and the phasing aspect of it, meaning it's over. The vision of the playground is $2 million. We've achieved a close to $500,000 phase one completion. This actual piece was begun in phase one. We're simply ratifying the proposal for the work that is already. We've already fundraised 100% for this $50,000. The point of the phasing is that it assists in future fundraising efforts, because when you go out and ask donors for money, they say, great program, what have you got going on? So if we were to wait until we raise $2 million, we wouldn't raise anything.
So is this art actually part of the Sensory Garden?
It is.
It is.
Yes.
It's interactive.
It's an interactive.
It's interactive.
It's interactive and appeals to the senses on the way into the park site over the bridge.
Part of the.
Correct. It's a part of the overall design of the total experience that's being created there.
It's just meant to give the participants one additional sensory way to interact with the playground. And some of the donors specifically look for things like art or what have you to fund. So,
Okay, so fundraise for those.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So when will the art be installed there?
One piece is installed, and there are two other pieces that are in production. We're just managing a housekeeping matter here of getting the board to approve the payout that has already been fundraised for, because of the relationship we have with the 501c3, whereby we front the money, and if there are pledged donations that come in over a period of years. So, for instance, let's say the $50,000 that we're spending here now was raised over 2 years at $25,000 a year. The park board would immediately be reimbursed $25,000, and then a year later, when the second installment of that pledge came in, which we have a legal document managing our pledges, which the board required before we agreed to this program, we would then get that second installment. It's easier to generate large sums of money with foundations and other groups out there if we can ask them for larger sums of money over longer periods of time, because a lot of these foundations give interest that's cast off of a multi-million-dollar endowment, so they give annually. So we can therefore craft a large portion of a project now and then have it funded back to the park district over a period of years, whereas we'd be raising then instead, $20,000 a year in dribs and drabs, and frankly, the thing would never be realized.
Yeah, Terry?
Mike, can you tell me how that Lyle Rotary donation of $2,500 fits into this $50,000 that's already apparently been raised?
We wanted to give them credit. We see a lot of unrestricted donations for this project. You might just say, I want to give to phase one, which is a 3 to 5 year old playground. Or some may say, I specifically want to give money to this because it speaks to us as a service club or a foundation. They wanted to give us, $2,500, which we gratefully accepted, and they wanted it to go towards art. So the rest of it is coming from an unrestricted donation pledge from another foundation.
You just want to give them special mention.
I wanted to mention their involvement. The playground itself is located in Lisle proper on Forest Preserve property. And they have actually the Lisle Parks Foundation, the Lisle Rotary, have been eager and enthusiastic partners with us, because we're putting a nice amenity, closer to their residents on that Forest Preserve land. So they're enthusiastic and appreciative.
I mean, the pieces that are shown here are pretty amazing. So it's going to be a great addition.
Yeah, and the piece that's already down there is phenomenal.
Wait, is it the horse or is it the arch?
That's the horse.
The musical mare.
The musical mare.
This is not a typical playground. This playground is going to be unique and special.
Yeah.
And I will mention, since Ray brought it up, this vision is one of the Wheaton Kiwanis Club, who also brought the Park District the Safety City project many years ago. And just for additional kudos, Ray Morrill was the president of that club when this idea was hatched, and we began to work on it. So it's been a labor of love for many years now.
All right, let's have a roll call vote on this.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. Next, let's move along to our recommendation to approve the quote from Advantage Trailer. So I'd like a motion to that effect.
I'll move that we approve the quote from Advantage Trailers for the purchase of a trolley for use as a halfway house concession stand at Arrowhead Golf Club in the amount of $22,811.
Second.
So we have a motion by Kelly and a second by Mr. Vyers. Comments? Terry?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that it's, to replace the current one that was purchased in 2010. And Andy, I would say, we could say right now it's, for that purpose, operationally obsolete, would you say? At least
Yes.
for that particular purpose.
It would take a lot of work to continue that one.
And
a
I
lot of
think we've also committed to the possible use of it for other functions, special events, et cetera, correct?
If we can, in a cost-effective manner, rehab it, absolutely, we can roll it around town. We can use it at athletic events and special events and so forth.
Can we sell it?
Probably not
I'd
the
rather
condition
use it to
it's
make
in.
money if it's worth anything. But yeah, you can sell anything you want, really.
Taste of
except
Wheaton
land.
at all, Mike?
Pardon?
Taste of Wheaton, if we could rehab
If
it?
you know what, Neil, who's here, the building engineer, who's going to be building the rest of this trailer out. He's going to focus on that first and foremost.
Yeah, sure.
Working on getting the existing one to work for us through July, probably maybe June. So he's going to have his hands full. After that, perhaps in the next off season, we can look at what it would take. We don't have to have Neil do it. I guess we could contract the repair of it out, but Neil's a busy guy. So the first priority is making sure the one we have will make it through June. Second priority is building the new one to start in June or July. The third priority is what we do with the one that's there.
Hey, Neil, you're the expert. If we were able to rehab the current one, to make it functional for other events, what would we do? Mount it on a trailer? How would we haul it around?
It already does have an axle.
Okay,
Around, it just would not work for winter.
I get it. Thanks.
If I may, for our friends at home, we get a lot of feedback that when someone doesn't use a microphone, Neil wasn't here when I mentioned it before, so sorry. The existing trailer and the new trailer will have wheels. They will be mobile, and then they're not meant for use in the winter is essentially what Neil's response was. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you, Neil. Yeah, John?
So, Andy, it's bigger than it's going to be larger than the current one?
That is correct.
Same manufacturer?
Different one this time.
Will it look similar, or?
Yeah, we're going to try to make it look like a trolley or just not like a box. It's going to have an outside, look of like a trolley.
It'll look like the one that we were presented.
Yes,
Fiction of,
the
right?
picture. Yes.
Yeah.
To the best of Neil's ability.
To the best of Neil's ability?
That's
We have
correct.
faith in you, Neil.
Yes, Neil.
Neil can do anything.
Neil can do anything. All right, let's have a roll call vote on this.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Thanks, Neil.
All right, next we have a recommendation to approve the termination of a contract with Cage Engineering for the Seven Gables parking project. This was discussed in Buildings and Grounds. John, would you like to make that motion?
I move that we approve terminating the contract with Cage Engineering for the Seven Gables parking lot project and approve opening a new contract with Cage Engineering for the Seven Gables pathway project in the amount of $21,000.
Second.
We have a motion by Kelly and a second by Morrill to approve this. Any other questions or comments? Terry?
We had a lot of discussion about this, and basically, at least we scrapped, for the time being, any parking lot addition out there. But, Mike, when would you foresee that pathway project beginning and being completed?
Well, we'd like to see it done in 2017, this construction season, correct, Rob?
That's pretty quick. Good, thanks.
John?
Yep. Mike, and get me if I'm wrong, this pretty much completes connecting all the paths that aren't connecting now, and we won't be using parking lots as paths anymore?
Yeah, the primary benefit of this project is to keep pedestrians, wheelchairs, bicycles off the road and off the parking lot when going from A to B in the park. So it's a pretty significant safety matter as well as an ADA issue for moving around in the park.
All right. Let's have a roll call vote on that.
Commissioner Vyers.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Mee.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Yes. All right, next we have a recommendation to approve the purchase of 4 golf skate caddies. Does someone want to make that motion?
I move to approve the purchase of four golf skate caddies for $19,980, plus shipping costs estimated at $1,000. And as information, those caddies are to be available for rental, as are our current golf carts, the pull and the riding.
Second.
We have a motion by me and a second by Vyers. Questions now. John,
Yeah, I just have, so Bruce, can you
can you explain what it is?
well, can you just go through the payback too again on
Yeah.
these? They have like, if I read it right, a 4-year expected life, and the payback's 1.6, something like that?
1.7.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
so right there, it's kind of a new product. So life expectancy 4 to 5 years right now. Payback with an upcharge over the normal rental car of about 1.5, 1.7 years.
So resale, let's say it doesn't work out and we decide we want out, resale value, probably still 50 to 75. Even if we got 50% for them, we're going to be fine based on the 1 year's.
Probably the last year's model, what we'll be getting is a newer model. Last year's model is still going for what we're paying for these.
So it's kind of risk-free if it doesn't work out.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Yep.
Bruce, could you explain what this skate is? Because I had to ask Mike really what it looked like, and so.
Imagine, I guess it's kind of a skateboard, Segway, surfboard thing. It's 4 feet long. It's got a little seat in the back, which you only use when you're resting. And then it's got a handle up front, clubs attach in there, and it's got a little toggle switch. You surf around on it. It's going to be fun.
If I may add, you're also standing as you're driving this. There's no sitting down. So it's almost kind of like you're on an adult skateboard that's motorized through electric.
And at the golf show, people really like this. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. We had a demo out last year. We had people of all ages riding it. I think Mike was able to get on one and stay up for a little while at the show. So it's going to be safe.
My wounds are all healed. No,
gonna be
it's very
for
safe.
everybody.
It's very
Do
safe.
they stop when the person
Yes.
falls off before they go into the pond?
Yeah, do they stop? Yeah.
If you take your hand off the switch, it turns off.
Terry?
No, and, I think we agree that it's a novelty, and I think it was prudent of the staff to recommend that we only do 4 of them right now in case, it doesn't work, but I think it's worth that expenditure. Bruce, would you say that that's a current trend for public golf courses to rent these or allow the rental?
We are definitely seeing more of it. I know the Chicago Park District, a couple of their courses had them. Rockford's using them. And then we're starting to see them all over.
That'll be
Orchard
interesting.
Valley had them last year.
It's worth a shot.
The data indicates it can create new customers for us who will come specifically for this device. That the people that have been using it the last 12, 24 months are providing data that indicates new use.
I just want to ride one.
Right?
I think Ray Morrill will take up
Might
golf.
have to test it out, make sure it's safe.
All right. Do we need a roll call?
Sure. Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Thanks, Bruce and Andy.
Thank you very much. Okay, we are approving, we've actually approved this safety policy and procedures manual before.
In 2011 and in 2014, like a lot of our manuals and policy documents, they go under periodic review. I
So this has been updated.
The only update on this particular document is under the Crisis Management and Communication Plan, where through attrition we've lost people who used to be on that list, and we've updated the list accordingly so we can make sure that if a crisis were to occur, the right people are getting a phone call.
So then the basic text, there was nothing highlighted, it's all the same then?
No changes other than that.
So we need a motion.
Move to approve the Safety Policy and Procedures Manual and Crisis Management Plan for the Wheaton Park District, updated February 2017.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Morrell and a second by Byers. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have the replacement of 2 computer switches, and which recently failed. So we'd like a motion to that effect. And it looks like Andrea's here to answer questions if we need them, right?
I also have the English version from our IT consultant in front of me, should you require what exactly the switch does.
Okay.
Andrea, if you have it as well, feel free to. It's okay.
Mike, before I make the motion, question, the 10,000 is for 2, or that's the price each?
That is for the 2 switches.
That's the total amount, 10,000?
Is that right, Andrea? That's why the
was
PO.
spending
That's
10
why the
and
PO
20.
is for 10.
I'm not sure. I could get back to you on that.
I'm 99% certain
It's gotta
that
be for
it
both,
is
right?
for both, and then there's some maintenance that goes along with them. That's an annual addition to our IT expenses of just shy of $1,500. So the actual widget purchase is $10,318.93 for the 2 switches, and then we have obviously the additional maintenance from our managed service provider that goes along with keeping these things happy.
All right, so I'll move that we buy the 2 switches from Meridian IT for $10,318.75, and that we approve an annual maintenance contract of $1,467.18. And I'm assuming that's for both switches.
Correct.
also.
And we have a motion by Kelly and a second by
Second.
me. Thank you very much. Any other questions? This is under our bid limit, so we can do this with a voice? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Any other items? Mike, we're going to go to you then. Reports from staff?
We continue to see heavy use of the new ice rinks that were installed. I believe we've been down since we opened them. I think it's only 6 days. Thank you. So that's in the past we would have 10 attempts at ice, and I think we would have 6 days total for the entire winter that we would skate. So we're seeing a lot of great use. We're getting a lot of great compliments. As a way of reporting how the Ross McNeil Foundation hockey tournament went, they raised just over $15,000, and they were very appreciative for the opportunity to do it. The Park District made some concessions and a rental piece as well. We are already getting many of our neighboring park districts visiting and looking at what we did and looking to add amenities as their budgets allow to their sites. So it's a good thing. People love skating, and we're very, very happy about it. I'd also just like to acknowledge the passing of former Councilman Tom Mahalis, who's being waked today, and his service is tomorrow. Tom served the council for 12 years, was a great friend of the Park District, spent a little bit of time as an employee of the Park District early on in my tenure here, and served our country in the Air Force, retiring as a major. And I think he was just a hell of a great guy, and one that I will miss a lot. Had a big impact on me in my time here. We'll miss Tom. That's all I have.
Okay. We have some staff reports that were included in the packet as well. And I'm going to open this up to other commissioners if you want to make your comments. John, let's go ahead and start your end here.
Yeah, on the staff reports, I have a few comments. First of all, congratulations out to Brian Whitconnect and the rest of the crew at Arrowhead for the VIP beer experience that had 330 people, which seems unbelievable to me. It's a great event. That's huge. Do we seat that many?
It's upstairs in the bank.
All right, okay. That's a pretty good turnout, so I'm pretty impressed by that. Also, congratulations to Justin Kirtland and his wife, and their second child was born, Marlo Christine, on February 1st, so congratulations to them. And then finally, just to reiterate what was said earlier about the fundraising at the museum, Casino Nights coming up on March 11th, Casino Royale, which is always a great event, a lot of fun, so I encourage people to come out to that.
Ray, your comments?
Just that all 4 reports that we got are excellent. Appreciate all the information you share with us. It's amazing that the depth of programming and services that we provide the community. It's a lot more than just the golf course and athletics. We do a lot of other things that are certainly valuable. Looking at the fitness center report, it looks like there's, if you look at our annual membership, we're about 38% of our members are senior citizens, which isn't necessarily bad because I am one. That seems high, I guess, to me, and I'm just wondering, is that typical?
To be honest, I mean, it's the community that we live in right now. A lot of younger people can't afford the community. I think it's just getting older at this point. We have a great facility that caters to all demographics, but at this point, that's where we're landing. The Silver Sneakers program has brought in a lot of elderly members.
Seniors.
Thank you.
Does the Silver Sneakers do more than just the fitness center? Like, could we tap into swimming pool passes with them?
We definitely can, and we did add.
Is that something that Dan ought to be looking at, that you can send them in that direction, and maybe these people can get pool passes and we'll generate revenue that way? And
Sure, and we did offer morning swim to them, so Wendy and I did split revenue on that last year, so we can tap into that for this year.
Okay, good. Excellent reports, and the programming we do is just wonderful. Thank you.
No secrets down there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Terry.
Starting with the Lincoln Marsh Natural Area Challenge Course. Anybody here representing that? Like Mike Kelly? Thanks, man. Quickly, I noticed that, we have our numbers in terms of programs and participants are up slightly, good work on that. But so are our revenues. So you must be doing something right over there. So it's always nice to see that, our revenues are increasing. It was nice to see the goals for the challenge course, for, what you've got going in 2017. That kind of helps us. But, the summary of the natural area there is helpful to me because it serves as a reminder of, how many things we do service and what we have to offer. Who's here for the environmental education? Deb,
Thanks, Mike.
Is she here? Nope.
Tara's here.
Tara's here. Hey, Tara, same. We're our revenues, have increased. Good job over 2015. I think that always should be recognized. So once again, doing something good. And then you also highlighted, some of the 2017 goals, and they seem to be similar for the marsh all the way around, but that would be expected. But anyway, I appreciate the work out there. That's kind of good. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'd like to add that a lot of the staff, you can sit down, that's just a compliment, no questions. A lot of the staff at the Lincoln Marsh and many other divisions and departments play a big role in our greening, your community charter that you heard about last month. They put a lot of extracurricular time into making sure that we do things like earn our earth flag. They're working on our water flag with Scarce. And it's a lot of extra get-to type of work that we have a lot of enthusiasm that's centered over there at the Marsh. And we appreciate that very much.
Kristen, I see you're out there for the varied interests. Good job. That introduction really helps me as a board member.
Okay.
No, you better get up there. No, you can say. No, it really helps me to know how many different, services that we do offer. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, which is pretty significant. And once again, the revenues have increased, in 16 over 15. So, Mike, you're leading them in the right direction.
Jane,
Yeah. Wait, Terry, are you done?
Ray wants to talk.
Go ahead.
Hey, Ryan, you sat down too soon, but, I see that our revenues are down slightly in 2016 from 15. Would that be, in addition to personnel costs, what else?
Our revenues down or expenses?
The
net or the gross is down?
It's the net.
The net is down due to the purchase of some new equipment.
Yeah, I know it's not all staff because I saw that.
Yeah, it's not all staff. Yeah, we did purchase 10 spin bikes, which was a pretty hefty bill there. We did do some aesthetic improvements to the desk, the flooring.
Okay, that's where it comes
some
from.
new water fountains.
Yeah, because I use the fitness center, so
for sure.
All the improvements are good. I just wondered where it was. It's not a significant,
No.
decrease from last year, but I did notice it.
It was things that were desperately needed at that point.
And I see you did reduce the part-time wages. Is that, I assume, because of the full-time?
Yeah, we lost.
complement?
Yeah, so we did lose Michelle's salary there and put it into full time. We also did some cutbacks where we needed to, and just did better with our spending.
And last but not least, I see that our membership, has increased over 15. So
we're doing
credit
well.
to the staff. Good work, man.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Ryan, you don't have to stand up, Brian. I'm just. I was just going to commend you. I'm always impressed when I see different things that we're doing, and I'm really impressed that we're doing a program for people with Parkinson's, and so I thought that the exercising and also partnering with Northwestern Medicine to do that was really a good thing. So, yeah, and that's a great need, and it's something that people can't get in other locations. So I'm glad you're looking at it. So thank you. Yeah, Ray.
In Mike's packet, he had the discussion about Arrowhead, the house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to put it under buildings and grounds and talk about tonight. Put it on buildings and grounds.
I think it was in there too.
Yeah, my recommendation was that the board have a dialogue specific to the use of that residence in the future at the next subcommittee cycle.
That's fine. I didn't pick up on
Yeah,
that.
because that'll require a little more in-depth discussion.
So we'll put that on the agenda for buildings and grounds.
Very good.
We
Thank
will.
you.
Okay.
And last question for me, hey, Andy, will we shut down our new ice for the weekend based on the temps that are projected?
The ice, that would be, I believe.
Beth.
I don't believe the ice will be functioning at 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But I don't know how cold Rob could get there.
I didn't know what our threshold was.
We're fully expecting that we will be shut down probably through Tuesday. What we found so far is about 45 degrees and sunny. We can't keep up with it.
Okay, so the threshold would be about 45, depending on
Little
wind and
higher
so
if it's
forth.
cloudy, but.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm impressed we made it between 40 and 45. I personally, we were saying 40 degrees, expect to shut down, but we're getting to 45 degrees, and I think that's pretty impressive.
Not bad. Thanks.
Well, and it's a good sign too. If the ice is shutting down, but the patio at Arrowhead is opening up, that's got to be springs around.
And let's not forget the golf course is going to open up.
Yeah.
also.
Driving
And
range and the
driving
golf
range.
course.
So the golf
yeah.
course, driving range, and the Arrowhead patio opens up this Friday, and it'll be open, Andy, from what I saw, weather dependent, as long as
Yeah.
we're 45 or over. Is that right?
Yeah. If it's 45 or over, the golf course will be open. The driving range will be open, but 45 and over for the golf course. And,
18 holes.
and if you want to sit out there at the patio at 45, you can too.
Right on.
I don't know.
Thank
But
you.
yes.
Okay, other comments from board members? All right, I believe we have, Mike, did you remind me that we have some people in the audience that did want to speak that weren't here earlier?
Yeah, we noticed some folks come in. Was there any public comment, additional public comment? Mr. Enger? Okay.
Good, great. Okay, I'm going to.
Motion to adjourn.
Well, to go
to
into closed
recess.
session. I'd like to have a motion to go into closed session. We need to discuss, for purposes of personnel review for, under the statutes of 5 ILCS 120-2, C1, and also for the potential release of closed session minutes under 122C 21.
Move to recess.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by me and a second by Kelly. All in favor?
Got a roll call.
Roll call.
Commissioner Vyers. Commissioner Morrow. Commissioner Me. Commissioner Kelly. President Hodgkinson.
Yes.
And there.
We'll be reconvening afterwards if you would like to remain, but if you would like to leave, please.